Yeah.
All right. Yes, you are correct. We are listening to Journey into Wrestling. No, we're not. We're doing Game Addicts, aren't we?
Yeah.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Game Addicts podcast on the Journey into Comics YouTube channel, exclusive. This time, we're not going on the main channel. We are live, so to speak, at Villians Con 2016. We're in the game room where we're hosting game tournaments and whatnot. We are also kind of off the main floor a little bit. Journey into Comics 100 was live on the main stage. That went off without a hitch. Great show. Joining me here today is not my usual co-host. He's not here. He is absent. His chair is there, but he is not here. Mike is not here. He was going to be here, but hey, family stuff happens.
Wait, Kylo Ren just entered. We better shut up for a little bit.
Oh crap, we better recognize. Also, guys, if you hear any stuff in the background, of course we're at a con, so there's going to be people talking, some games going on. So we are here. We're in the live. We're in the buff. Would that be correct to say?
Technically. Yeah, I'm just freaking out. I'm afraid he's going to throw a tantrum and start smashing the TVs.
The voice you're hearing is one of my good friends, Tony Jenkins, longtime band partner, General Hooligan.
That's right.
Yeah. To my right, which I guess if you're listening to this podcast is to any direction that you want, but to my right is a good friend of mine called Daniel Connor. How you doing?
Fine so far.
Yeah. So you guys you were here most of the day yesterday for the con. You just showed up for the after party.
I was late from work, so I just showed up to get drunk and watch bands.
Yeah. So how was that? Was that a good time for you?
Oh, absolutely. I've seen Yavin 4 a couple times now. Friends with the group. Travis, Benny, Jason. I always forget the drummer's name, so I really feel bad for that. Yeah, it was a good time. Really good time.
A friend of mine, his name is Blaine Tyner, or Dick Tyner, if you will, from Lafayette. He is associated with some guys. He used to live at the Doom Room, but he's moved away from there. But he does still associate himself with the shows. He has seen the Yavin 4, and he was really anxious for me to see them to get my perspective, because I guess they play the Doom Room a lot.
Yeah, I think they did a show there recently. I think it was maybe they did one in March. I actually think.
Yep. Because I think or it might have been April, because I think it was they had some sort of TippyCon, some local convention over there.
That's right. That did take place too.
And then I want to say there was a Final Fantasy metal band called Knights of the Round.
Yeah, I'm really disappointed I didn't get to go to that. I really probably should have. I think that'd be a good time. Maybe even see some Black Mages influences and stuff like that.
I wanted to go, but unfortunately, being a dad does take precedence. I can't just leave the child unattended.
Well, you can. It's just not recommended.
This is the Game Addicts podcast, and kind of what we do here is that we just sit back and we just chill and we talk about some games. Of course, E3 is coming up. That's kind of a big thing. That's going to be hitting us all. I think it's next week. Or is it next week? No, it's the week after next. It's because we got the 6th coming up, so it's the week after next. A lot of weird stuff kind of going on. How, there's, this rumors from Nintendo about their new system, but they're not talking about it yet. They've dedicated this year's E3 to just Legend of Zelda, the new one.
What are your thoughts on that, Daniel?
I'm waiting for the can't even think about it now. The open world.
Yeah.
Waiting for that.
Of course, that is coming out to the Wii U, but it's also going for the new NX system as well. Apparently, the game has been delayed just for that, kind of like the way with Twilight Princess, how it was like GameCube, and we're also on the Wii.
Yeah, funny how that works.
Yeah, right.
Money.
Oh, definitely, dude. They definitely want to try and encourage people to pick up the new system. But see, it's kind of making me think that they're going to unveil the NX when there's less competition. For eyes being on the local event, where they can do it at Tokyo Game Show, or they can have their own kind of Apple event, where it's set the date. This is going to be Nintendo Direct on the NX. Anything you want to know is going to be right here.
Well, it's going to be kind of hard competition-wise. I mean, PlayStation's already announced the desire to go with virtual reality, which is the big thing right now. And to be honest, I've never been really too excited about E3. It comes around, people talk about it for days. I see posts about it on Facebook. I'm just yeah, that's fucking great. Oh, I don't know if I can cuss in this. Apologies.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay. But it's what about all the independent stuff that we should really look forward to? Some of the titles I'm looking forward to. I don't know about the new Red Dead. I think it's going to be Red Dead Renegades.
Is that what they're going to call it?
I think that's a working title, but it's supposed to be a prequel from what I understand. dealing with Irish and the other guy whose name I can't remember from Red Dead Redemption. Really looking forward to that. So we'll see if that gets any headway. And in the horror game market, Outlast 2. I'm really looking forward to that one as well.
Now, as far as indie games go, one of the bigger indie titles that are coming out this year is No Man's Sky. And
it keeps getting delayed.
Yes, it does. Unfortunately, this one wasn't too long. It's about a month. So that leaves me hope that it's not going to become another Mighty Number 9.
Well, even worse than that is Star Citizen. I think that game's like the Duke Nukem Forever of space sims. It's going to remain in developmental hell. And anytime that they need money, they're just like, well, here's some more ships that you can buy at a pre-sale to support us. And they've been doing that for probably like the last two years, I think. So, yeah, I think it's going on record that some guys already spent over $15,000 on this game. And there's really not even so much as a beta to speak of. It's all alpha stages, and it's only like small deals here and there.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, I think Elite Dangerous is going to just encompass that whole realm as far as like space sims are going.
Now, one thing I did want to bring up is that it's notable that Nintendo's sitting out unveiling their new console for this year, even though it's slated to release in March of next year.
They'll change your mind before then.
They might, but both companies have a desire to kind of like do like a 0.5 version of their consoles they have out now. We already have pretty much not confirmed from Sony, but the PS4 Neo or PS4K, PS4.5, where it's going to be like, hey, look, this is the PS4, but it's 4K enabled, and it could.
Yeah, but you know what's sad about that? I think AMD just unveiled a card that they're selling for $200 that can still, at that price, outperform the PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 4 point, whatever the hell they want to call it. That's pretty sad. I mean, you could build yourself a PC for gaming right now for less than buying a console or just about the same price.
We'll see. The big issue with like people with companies like PlayStation or anything like that is inherently what we have is a problem of by the time these systems were released in 2013, I'm talking about the PS4 and the Xbox One, they were already outdated. Okay?
That's for sure.
I mean, usually when consoles hit the market, they're usually like, okay, at least a few years ahead of where kind of like the PC market is, and then you sort of have that buffer. You sort of have that sort of, you know, gateway. So eventually, yes, the PC is going to overtake it, but then it's like, okay, what's the next big thing for consoles? But because of the delay in release of consoles, because of the, I guess you could call it the economic recession, instead of going 5 years for a cycle, they went like 6 or 7, and it just delayed the release of a console that by the time it would have came out before, in like 2010, okay, this is a pretty decent console for 2010, and then by the end of that, it's like, you know, it's not like they didn't know what the sort of specs they were eyeing for the next console, but by the time that came out, it was already too late, which is why I guess we're getting this little bit of like, you know, a little bit of pump and juice to try and like
it's life support.
Yeah, pretty much, because I've heard now the Xbox is going to unveil 2 new Xbox One consoles at their E3 conference. This has not been confirmed. One's going to be a slim, and one's going to be like a PS4K, a souped-up model that rumor is running around that's going to be 4 times more powerful than the PS4K.
I don't know. I don't think anything has been really revolutionary or hard-hitting in the console industry since maybe for Sony, the PlayStation 2, I think, really set the bar. And then for Xbox, I mean, yeah, the Xbox 360 was nice, but when they unveiled the Xbox and they brought out Halo, I think that was like probably like one of the hardest hits in gaming industry as far as consoles go in like the last amount of time.
What we got here, bud? Look at that. Mortal Kombat is getting an official licensed beer.
I like where this is going. I like beer.
Wow. That is, wow.
Yeah, I know. I seen that and I was like, that's crazy.
That is awesome. Did it say what flavors there are?
I'm looking it up right now.
All right, awesome. Live on the
we'll
fly.
let you know.
Awesome.
Daniel, how about you chime in on some of this stuff? You got some comments,
so
I know.
apparently it's Sub-Zero, Imperial Ale, Imperial APA.
Okay.
IPA.
Nope, I hate Indian Pale Ales.
Okay,
Too
so
hoppy.
Sub-Zero Imperial IPA, Raiden Imperial Saison, Scorpion Imperial Stout. Well, of course, Scorpion will be stout.
Yeah.
The stout I could take. The IPAs you can shove up your ass.
You wouldn't even try the Broken Skull IPA?
I just hate the hoppy flavor.
Really?
I can do Pilsners. I can't do IPAs. Yeah, Troy over there that's right behind you, one of the co-owners of Vintage Villians, he
Yeah.
can tell you about beers himself. Don't let the guy fool you. He's quite the drinker. I know. We've spent many nights of fat man's getting shit-faced.
As always, Tony is definitely the schmoozer.
Yeah, silver tongue.
Now, are
I
there
drink rum.
That's right. Daniel drinks rum.
typically at the start of the show, I always want to start with what have you been playing? So we'll start with Daniel. What have you been playing here lately?
Mostly Far Cry Primal and Fallout 4. Mostly
Okay.
the Far Harbor DLC.
Like, how is that? I haven't checked into that yet.
It's all right so far. There's a lot to do. Mostly like the first trophy is just getting to it, but I mean, there's a lot of things like they tell you don't go in the fog, and I've gone in the fog, and luckily I haven't encountered much stuff. But there's something that's just as deadly as the Mirelurk Queen.
No,
that
really?
I had to stay back and fight. There was no way I could fight it up close.
That is hilarious that there's a trophy for even starting it or turning it
Yeah.
on. It's like,
Well, once you get to it, it's like I think it says "Welcome to Far Harbor."
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I just think that would be hilarious. Is if you turn you put the disc in and it boots up and it says, "You started our game." Bleep.
Hey, wait a minute. Wasn't there, like, I think it was a Simpsons game, you paused and it gave you a trophy. It says taking a break. I mean, that's sort of thing, like, actually does exist.
A few years ago, during the Sony E3, they showed Uncharted 4, and it started up, and it took point to the it got to the point where they were going to start controlling the character Drake, and it just didn't move. So people thought, "Oh crap, dude, this demo is busted on live on stage." No, apparently, the guy who was supposed to be testing it couldn't find the controller. So they're scrambling around, and they got a controller, but it was the wrong one. Because I guess they had multiple stuff set up. And there is a trophy, there's a hidden trophy in Uncharted 4. When you get to that spot in the game, if you don't move for 30 seconds, it says stage fright.
That's good.
They did that on purpose.
Yeah.
At least that's going to be, like, the after story.
Yeah. But I definitely have been playing Uncharted. Loved the heck out of Uncharted 4 so much that I went back and I bought the Nathan Drake collection for PS4.
I saw that get released. I should probably look into that sometime.
It's awesome, dude. I think I got it used for like $25.
Yeah. As far as things I've been playing with lately, I mean, apart from myself,
Yeah.
I did delve into Elite Dangerous a little bit. Revisited Battlefield 4. I'm really excited for Battlefield 1. Really looking forward to that. And I haven't quite got into Fallout 4 as much as Daniel has. I was kind of disappointed with it, but I've touched on it a little bit as well.
I really liked Fallout 4. I thought it was pretty decent.
Too straightforward, in my opinion.
Do you think so?
Yeah, dialogue-wise. I mean, the story is just kind of handed to you on like a silver platter. It's like, here, do this, and if you can't figure it out, well, you're dumb. It's like, okay, I'm going to go save a settlement. Okay, I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go do that. Oh, look, that's the ending I didn't see coming. And then you're basically pigeonholed into one choice of who are you going to side with? Well, what if I told you to all go fuck yourselves? I don't want to do this anymore. What option do I have?
Like in New Vegas, where you can make your own choice.
Yeah, I felt that was really stripped.
Well, oh yeah, I definitely will say that the endings, it's almost like you're picking the lesser evil for the ending. You know what I mean?
Yeah, which extremist do I want to side with today?
Brotherhood, of course.
You say the Brotherhood?
Yeah.
Get out of here with that fucking overzealous, religious, like almost Nazi-like view.
Nazi-like view.
It's like, yeah, if you're not in power armor, you're not worth being alive.
I also sided with the Brotherhood.
See, there you go.
Oh my
Tony.
God.
However, I did so with the intention of now they think so much of me, I'm just gonna change this place from the inside out.
Okay. Destroying from within. I can give you credit for that.
Well, because like my character's choices throughout the game don't really align with the Brotherhood, but I just
but
feel
they
like
still accept you.
well, let's just say that there's a part in Fallout 4 when what's his name, Paladin Dance,
Yeah.
when you find out that he is a
Synth.
that he's a synth.
He's a replicant.
Good.
Yeah.
Good callback.
Blade Runner, guys.
So I basically spared him, and I didn't want him to leave. And I tried to convince the head guy of the Brotherhood. What's his name?
Yeah, no, I can't think of it. I can see him with
Yeah.
his Gatling laser, and
Right.
I can't think of his name.
But I tried to convince him, and he's like, no, but he can stay here and never come out again. And so then Dan's like, I'm gonna sit here and find a place to sleep. And dude, he said he's gonna make that place more homey, and I figured when I came back, the place would be changed. Oh, he's got a bed. No, he has nothing, because of course he doesn't have a bed because he's a damn synth. But what I do like is how, like, Nick Valentine, he's always like walking around your settlement, but I can never find his ass.
Yeah, unless you don't need him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to Sanctuary, and I had like 8 followers just walking around there. I'm like, oh, there's that person and that person. Because I was using the follower from Far Harbor.
Oh my God, check this out. This pissed me off so much about Fallout 4. All right, so I made my own house in Sanctuary, and I had like a little like chest for all my clothes that I've collected, and I have this dresser, which I have some of my memorial stuff on, and I put all my guns in there, and then I have a bed. I mean, this is my house, okay?
I like where this is
It
going.
doesn't work this way.
All right. So, do you guys remember that crazy lady that wants the drugs all the time?
Yeah.
She stole my bed.
That's why you don't give her drugs.
No. Well, see, I told her I give her drugs once, and I said, "Straighten up. I'm not giving you any more."
Psycho buff, not even once.
Dude, I went to go to sleep, and it says, "You cannot sleep in an owned bed." I said, "It's my bed. I own it."
Build you a bed next to it.
Oh, dude, I was so mad, and then it wouldn't let me delete it because this is an owned bed. What are you doing?
I think I'd be best. I think I'd just go on a rampage and just pull out my gun and start shooting everybody in town. It's like, no.
Make sure you save first.
Huh?
Make sure you save
Tony
first.
doesn't do that. He likes to live dangerously.
I do. Like when I got bored in, I did it a little bit in Skyrim, but it's mostly Oblivion. When I got to the point I was so bored, I just started killing everybody that wasn't a Nord. Bad times, let me tell you.
That's not even the funniest thing that I've ever seen you laugh at either. That one SmackDown game. Yeah.
Owen Hart.
Somebody was able to glitch a creator wrestler of Owen Hart up above the ring and then jump off and land in the ring. And the best, okay, it's not inherently funny, I know.
Yeah.
But the referee,
Yeah, it is.
but the referee's reaction, he does like the little shaking of his hands and like the over animated video game version of "Are you okay?"
Yeah.
Can you continue? It's on YouTube somewhere. It's only like a 6-second clip.
He was fine because, as we know in all actuality, Owen Hart did not die immediately upon impact. So the ref saw that he was still responding. He's just like, he's telling his opponent he's good. Okay, now I'm going to hell, and I'm in no short supply of material that's going to be sending me there.
No, not at all.
Nope.
Now I do remember, hanging out with you. It was probably at Nate's, and we were probably playing some wrestling game. And do you ever remember like some of the creator wrestlers we used to make?
Yeah, I had Spawn until you borrowed my memory card and saved over him.
Did I borrow the memory card?
Yeah, I think it was either because I had these wrestlers created. You said I did a good job with them for what I had to work with. And then like you went to like load some data or something like that.
Oh, copy him over and
it deleted them all. Just like it's like yeah, it's okay. He wasn't that important anyway.
I can just see it's like you tell me that and you go home and you go, he was jealous. he just like he wanted to erase all memory of this ever happening.
Right. Oh man, I can remember all the way far back to like the first SmackDown game, which I thought really sucked.
Oh, it does.
I mean, it was cool what they tried to do, but if they would have just taken those graphics and applied the system like No Mercy,
The
WCW,
stuff, or
W
the
Revenge,
AKI.
yeah, if they would have just taken that, I think they would have done so much better.
Okay, so check this out. So AKI switched from like the WCW brand to the WWF brand on the N64, and apparently they had re-signed with WCW to make the next WCW game. Only they went out of business before they could make the game. I heard it was supposed to be called WCW 2000, And the engine they ended up making for that, they ended up bringing over and modifying it for the Def Jam Vendetta games.
I've never played that game, but I've seen some footage. I have to admit, that game actually looks pretty damn fucking tight.
Dude. I mean, from what I hear, it's like No Mercy on steroids.
Yeah, because I saw them throwing them into cars, beating their heads off of there. I'm just like, it's like, why didn't I play this game? It's like, oh yeah, because I wasn't in the rep at that time. It would be later on, but we don't talk about that. But
we don't talk about like, was it Ghost MC?
Ghost, aka. Yeah. If they took that game, I think they could bring Def Jam back and make another one. And I think that'd actually be like pretty hype. I think that'd be like a damn good move, in my opinion.
Now, there's another, like, this year, of course you have the games that come out every year, your Call of Duty, and then Battlefield 1, which, not to get too sidetracked here, I just saw where EA was hesitant to let them make the game in World War I when they first pitched it because they weren't confident that the youth today would even know what World War I was.
Dude, we have some people that couldn't even tell you who fought in the Civil War. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I can believe it.
That is the most Googled question in Arkansas. The look you gave me is priceless.
Yeah. I swear I just heard, like, 50 bald eagles just, like, crying out in pain and shedding tears simultaneously for that.
It was a great disturbance in the force.
You could say that again.
All right, so I know this isn't gaming related, but now I'm bringing that up.
Oh, we can talk about anything. We're not your usual co-hosts. We're diverse.
Exactly. Well, I mean, part of the Journey to Comics like quota is to be tangents, to have tangents and be random. So, there's a map, and it says you won't believe the questions each state Googles more than any other state. Some of these are outright hilarious. Some of them are just like head scratchers, like Washington State, can Bernie win? Oregon, who is Eamon Bundy? California, is Bernie Sanders vegan? Because that matters when you're going to vote.
Maybe if you would have ate the bird that sat on his little desk or something like that, they would be able to answer that question, I guess.
Idaho, is Ted Cruz the Zodiac Killer?
Yes, I know him very well. I can actually confirm that.
Wyoming, what is Wyoming?
A state?
I think we're all at a loss for words on that one. We just don't even know what to say.
Colorado, this is one of my favorites. Where is Waldo?
He's with Carmen Sandiego, guys.
Yeah.
Utah, what is quinoa?
What is it?
It's like a gluten-free pasta, like kind of like a rice-ish.
I like rice. I'm listening.
I mean, would I say it's as good as rice? No.
No, nothing can replace rice except for more rice.
Nevada, who invented pizza?
The Italians.
Actually, I don't know if that's true. I don't think it's actually an Italian dish. Might be like America. Might be like a hamburger type deal. Like we just don't shake your head at me.
Is this Arizona? What is the minimum wage? New Mexico, how to be emo?
Well, let's go back to about 2000. What about 2006? Maybe 2007.
That's when it really got big. Yeah.
Yeah. Just go listen to My Chemical Romance on repeat. Get a razor blade necklace. Get a wig. Start wearing some makeup. You know.
Wear your sister's pants.
Yeah, I wore skinny jeans once. I never realized. I mean, I was skinny at the time, so it was okay. When I got home that night after walking around, I got whistled at a couple times walking around in makeup and skinny jeans. But you honestly know how hard those things are to get the fuck off of you? That's really what made me stop wearing them ever again. It's like when I got home that night, it's like, no. It's like, I'm skinny, but I'm not wearing these things anymore.
Texas, where is the internet?
I work for New Wave, but I'm not going to answer that.
Oklahoma, is Obama Muslim?
Doesn't matter?
That's Oklahoma. They make their own laws.
Like Texas.
Kansas, how to make meth?
Wow, the economy's rough.
Watch
Breaking Bad.
I believe this is Nebraska. Like Nebraska's in between Kansas and South Dakota, right?
I failed geography.
I think so.
With Harold, did you really fail geography?
No, I didn't really fail. I just suck at it.
What is Tinder?
It's one of the worst apps for guys like me to try to start dating people.
Is it?
Yeah. I'd never get messages, and when it looks like I have a notification, it's like, oh, somebody liked you. You go over there. No, nobody liked me. It's just their way of getting me to open up the app. I wish I was making this stuff up, but I'm not.
South Dakota, why is my poop green?
Oh, that's got to do with food dye. Like the time that we had that, you remember that motherfucking Misfits cake?
You had to bring that up, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah. No, I don't remember the cake. You know why?
Because you weren't there.
I didn't have any. Because you know why? Because I'm a dumbass and thought, oh, cool, they brought cake for everybody. It was supposed to be because it was my last show with the band. I didn't put that together. In fact, you know what? Because it was my last show, okay, so we had the cake, and Tony brought in the cake. He made this awesome Misfits cake for me. It was for me and everybody to enjoy, and it was to celebrate my, the occasion. Like, sad, but hey, thank you. And Jim's like, hey, dude, it's your last show. Awesome. You don't have to go and unpack with us. And I'm just like, cool, dude, because I really had to take a crap. Okay? And I'm like, man, I got to go. And I had to go all the way back to my mom's. And that's when I guess Tony got pretty upset about that. Anyway, so about that Misfits cake.
Yeah, that dye. Jim got pissed off at me because I left it over there and let him have the rest of it. Yeah, he bitched me out for about 5 minutes because it turned to shit green for about a week after that. All that black dye, buddy. Oh, yeah. I didn't make him eat it.
That is a good point. North Dakota when is the NFL draft? They have a lot of fun things up in North Dakota, especially in Minnesota, where is funner a word?
No. Language isn't static, and while we shouldn't accept it being pretty fluid, yes, it is now. I decree it.
All right. Iowa. Do penguins have knees? You never actually stopped to think about that, did you?
No, I think that's a good question. Props to them.
Michigan. Am I a psycho? They need reassurance, apparently.
Yes, you are.
Arkansas. Who won the Civil War?
It wasn't the South.
See, the thing is that I am inherently north. Okay, I'm north of the wall, if you will. Well, there's a thing in the South called Southern Pride. All right, the South shall rise again.
Yeah, like the Lost Cause movement type deal.
It's sort of in a lot of the slogans, and Arkansas is in the South. Louisiana, when is WrestleMania?
It changes every year, guys. We know this.
It's variable by a couple weeks. I'll skip over here to Alaska because I missed that. How to smoke salmon.
That's good. I don't know if salmon's actually in Alaska. I'm going to assume it is, but maybe that's all they have to eat.
That could be. Hawaii, what is the meaning of life?
Damn it, Hawaii. You're not even mainland U.S. and you're making yourself fucking look bad.
I know. Especially when you have Wisconsin. When is American Idol on?
I'm weeping for humanity right now.
Illinois, where we are right now.
I'm ready for this one.
What does OPP mean?
You down with OPP? Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
It's probably Chicago mostly.
Kentucky, how to make a baby.
Well, it's not with your cousin.
Well, here's the thing. It's Kentucky. You would think they would have figured that part out. Well, when I do this, sometimes the baby comes out. No offense to anybody.
I'm not even going to touch this one.
No?
No.
I have family in Kentucky, so I mean, none that I associate with, but I have links. Tennessee, what is the clap?
Yeah.
I believe this is Mississippi is the one right next to Louisiana, right?
Yeah, actually it is.
Okay. Who killed Tupac?
That's a loaded question.
Alabama. Who owns Fox News?
I don't know.
I know the name. I've heard it a lot, but I've had to remember a lot of names for the con. So
You're probably brain fried about this time. You're just like,
yeah, pretty much. Florida. Why does everyone hate Florida?
They do
because
stupid
you're
things.
Florida. What did
They
you
do
say?
stupid things.
Yeah. Yeah. Screw you, Florida.
Georgia. Why are my nipples so sore?
A lot of pinching.
Makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Yeah. Stop getting them sucked on so much. Or maybe it's because you have a kid.
South Carolina. Where is my phone? That they're probably searching from. On their
That's
phone.
my first thought. It's like it's in your hands, but
North Carolina. How to open a jar.
run it under hot water. It helps relieve the pressure.
Tony's the man. Virginia. Why is Virginia for lovers?
No, I thought that was like Paris. I thought that was like France.
That's what I thought too, but apparently Virginia is also for lovers. I guess it really has nothing else to do. It's like what is good about Virginia? What is
The only contribution that really is relevant in today's society from Virginia is the battle flag that everybody refers to as the rebel flag. That's it?
Yeah.
That's really all they've got going for them right now.
West Virginia? When is Cinco de Mayo?
I'm going to tell you an honest story. I'm throwing myself under the bus because I drew like the ace of spades and I died like Cliff
Ow.
Burton on this.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna make the joke, but I'm glad you did. Should have been you, Dave.
Yeah, should have been you. I actually did date a Mexican girl once. Really great in bed. Shout out Angie if you ever hear this. I looked at her straight face. I was driving. And I was like, "So, when is Cinco de Mayo, anyways?" I mean, I was like, "What's this all about?" She just looked at me dead faced. She couldn't believe I actually asked this. She's like, "Tony, it's the 5th of May." And I was like, "I don't fucking count in Spanish. I don't know this shit." I don't think I got laid for a couple days after actually asking that. I think that was like a pretty serious thing for her. Although I don't think she could tell me what it was really about, so I don't even know why they celebrate Cinco de Mayo.
I do believe it is to celebrate their freedom. It was sort of like their revolution against the French. Am I believing so? Or the Spanish?
Fucking
this?
French.
Um,
Have they won anything?
our hearts.
Our
It's surrender-
sympathy.
it's surrender.
Our sympathy. They won our sympathy. Indiana. What is satire?
You're such a dry, humid, unforsaken state. That's incredible.
Michigan. Is Mr. T dead?
No.
It can be.
Ohio. Is pot legal? It can be.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania. When is X-Files?
It's not even like, when does the new X-Files begin? It's just, when is X-Files? Oh, my God.
See, now some of these are really difficult to locate, like, and remember, because it's all the North, like, New England states. So,
Oh, like New Hampshire, Vermont,
Stuff like
Connecticut,
that.
Rhode Island,
like,
you know.
I know Vermont, and I want to say Vermont is how to write a cover letter. Maine is Who Won Survivor.
Survivor is still going?
Massachusetts,
I
how
think
many
so.
beers in a keg?
Oh, I'm willing to put this to the test. I want to find out myself.
This might be Rhode Island, but I'm pretty sure it is. Did Jay-Z cheat on Beyonce?
Just ask Peter Griffin.
Duh.
And one of them says, is weed bad for you? And I want to say maybe it's Jersey. I do apologize if that's not the case. It's hard to see this. How to get away with murder?
Well, they have a saying in New Jersey. It's called low die or die. You know, that's where the Misfits are from. I learned that from one of my buddies out there. I could definitely see that being like a murder state.
Well, they also definitely have some ties into like probably like historically with like like maybe mob families
Oh, easy.
Yeah, Jersey.
in Jersey.
You see that Harley Quinn girl over there?
Yeah,
I would make sweet, sweet love to her right now if I could.
right here and right in the middle of the room.
I'm not an exhibitionist, but I would make an exception. Video game related, just saying, just video games and stuff.
Yeah, that was a big tangent, but that's cool. To rein this back in a little bit, to rein this back in,
Yeah, Daniel.
yeah, Daniel, it's all your fault. One of the big titles coming out this year is finally, you want to talk about Duke Nukem Forever, Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah.
I've been waiting, but I hear that they took out the driving function, and I was really looking forward to that. Actually,
Really? Did they take that out?
I haven't paid
I don't know if it's been
attention too much.
confirmed. I think it's just something that came up in a group I'm in on Facebook. I think they talked about it because it wasn't going over with people.
Mm-hmm.
But I was really looking forward to how they pitched it as a telling of tales. That's like a bonding of the characters. And now they spend all this time together while they're doing this. First I was hesitant, but then I was open to the idea, and it eventually grew on me. But
I've tried out some of the demos, and I do kind of like it. It is it's a totally different approach to a Final Fantasy. It reminds me a lot more about Kingdom Hearts or something.
like Crisis Core.
Yes and no. Crisis Core is definitely that's a different thing, on its own. Really, it's got a completely different kind of system.
Yeah, it tried to retcon the fact that Zack was killed by 3 soldiers into the fact that he took down many. And I still believe the original Final Fantasy, that he was just shot by those 3 guys that Cloud at a lowly level 6 at the time, killed. That's saying something. Zack was probably a pussy compared to Cloud.
Speaking of 7, the remake was announced last year. They did show, they officially did show footage of said gameplay.
Is it
back in December.
episodic?
What they're saying is it's going to be episodic in the style of 13, where it was 1, 2, and 3. So it's going to be like a trilogy.
So each game being one of the discs?
Weirdly enough, yes, but probably the story's going to get broken up a little bit more.
I was
than
going to
that.
say 3, it better either be some DLC or...
I could definitely see something along the lines of, what's that?
It says you can drive still. Final
Still?
Fantasy.
Okay,
what it
we've got
says,
that
but-
confirmed.
All right. For me, I would end disc 1 right after Eris's death, or the part 1.
Phoenix down.
Well, it's a bit different.
I know, you're not knocked out. You're dead.
Dead.
There really is no coming back from that one.
Well, it's funny
Oh, wait,
because
but yeah, there is. Revive.
The Phoenix.
Oh my God, oh my God.
I've just settled it right there.
But what if there's something along the lines of it was her will to die?
I will her to live.
You will her to
She's
live.
the healer of the group. I mean,
Yuffie's almost as good.
I never used her.
Dude, okay, so the last time I played through the game, I decided to try Yuffie out. Turns out, stat-wise, she is the second best healer in the group next to Eris.
Really?
And she puts out some pretty good damage too.
I don't know. I still love. I know. I'm always biased. Vincent is my dude.
Oh, yeah.
And he's got probably the worst stats of anybody in the game, but he looks badass. He's got a gun, and then that final weapon of his. That final weapon. Anytime you kill somebody, you get stronger. Come on, man. Yes. Yes.
Now, there's a glitch to that where you can actually overclock the damage.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Was it killed Emerald weapon in one shot?
Yeah, one shot. And then, do you remember when that? Did I ever share the video of Tifa? Just Tifa beating Emerald Weapon?
I think that they did all those reels and they kept hitting Final Haven?
Well, they have her.
Final
With,
Heaven?
well, they have her with Quadra attack or attack times 4, and then they have that with counter attack, something. So every time she's hit, she hits 4 times. Every time she hits to attack, she hits 4 times. And then with her ultimate weapon, it gets stronger when her teammates are down.
That's right.
So they go in with 2 teammates down, and she just attacks, and has regen on. And then whenever Emerald, she's low on materia. So whenever Emerald does that big attack move, it hurts her a little bit, but the regen is enough to get her up.
That's impressive.
And they did it without the underwater materia, and did it in enough time to spare.
You know, I think I've only ever found that once in any playthrough.
The underwater materia?
Yeah.
It's when you morph the pirate ship into the guidebook. And then you gotta take the guidebook to some guy in Calmtown, and he's like, here's this for that guidebook.
Oh, yeah, that has to do with the Desert Rose too, I think, doesn't it?
When you take the Desert Rose and the Earth Harp that you get from Emerald and Ruby, he'll give you a gold chocobo right off the bat, or a set of 3 Master Magic, Summon, and Command, without having to work for it.
I also never got Knights of the Round. In fact,
No,
I
neither
had
did
to
I.
use a Game Shark to beat Sephiroth.
What? Oh my gosh! The last game I did play, I did not 100% it. I did do my gold chocobo, and which I am hesitant to ever do again. That's a pain in the ass. I did get Knights of the Round. Now, I have beaten Ruby. I've never beaten Emerald to this day.
Hey, at least you beat Ruby.
Yeah, I mean, Ruby, it ended up being just Cloud and Ruby left. And I'm just was spamming the heck out of Knights of the Round. With Mimic, I had Mime.
By the way, that's the one game to where we can say Japan to go screw itself because we got the weapons and they did not.
Yeah. Well, actually, they ended up getting it on the FF7 International release, but
You
that
just
came later.
you just killed my joy.
Sorry, I did not mean to just totally kill your joy.
What time are we at?
We are now at we're at about 40 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll
Daniel, throw something out there video game related wise.
Mass Effect. I'm waiting for that one too. Andromeda.
Oh yeah, I love me some Mass Effect.
There's a new Mass Effect coming.
Mass Effect Andromeda.
Yeah.
Now let me
It's
tell you,
more open
dialogue-wise, that game, I really love it. Whether you're a good guy or bad guy, especially when you shoot Rex.
Okay, so you've played 3, right? No. All right.
I already heard about the ending, and I just
No.
never got around
Okay,
to
no.
it.
The ending is subjective. With the director's cut, I feel like the ending is decent. It's open, right? It's open, and it leaves you up here in your own head to sort of fill in. The director's cut gives you more substance,
Right.
but the endings are what you make of it because it's more about the journey. But what I wanted to tell you, because you always make fun of shooting Rex,
Oh, I did it.
well, there's something worse with Rex in 3.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, don't tell me you can sleep with him.
Not yet.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
All right,
Okay.
so check this out.
Hello.
Okay. So in you are so distracted.
Been single almost 4 years. Just saying.
Valid point. So in Mass Effect 1, if you leave Rex alive, he goes to 2, and then he's pretty much just like the head of the Erdnot clan. He's like, yeah, I'm here on my chair, chilling. Well, in 3, he's a more active member. He doesn't join your party unless you have a DLC thing.
Okay.
But he's only playable during that DLC event. But it's awesome if you take him. Anyways, there's a whole side plot in 3 where you cure the genophage, or you can choose to.
Let's see how I feel that day.
All right, so generally, okay, Rex is my homeboy. He has a good vision of what the Krogan should be, because there's genuine concern from higher members of like the council and other people, important people in the galaxy that are concerned that if left unchecked, the Krogan could really wipe people out.
Mostly the Solarians.
Yeah, well, Solarians are concerned, except for Morden, who wants to, overdo his wrongs, right?
Okay, I can see it.
All right, so you have a decision to make, because I think it is the Solarian.
Counselor.
Is it the counselor?
Yeah, because she won't give you help if you cure the genophage.
If you cure the genophage, Solarian support goes away.
That's a heavy balance.
So you have a decision to make. Do I rely on brute strength of the Krogans, or do I get Solarian support? Now, granted, the overall number, I think, is less going with the Solarians, because there's a certain meter you have to meet to be prepared for the Reapers, and it sort of calculates how much per squad gives you. It's RPG numbers, right? So you have a choice. You can, and basically you can save your choice all up to the very last moment, because Morden's going to sacrifice himself, if need be, to cure the genophage. Well, that's when you can make your decision. At that point, you cannot convince Morden otherwise unless the, I guess, would she be the queen? What was her name?
The counselor?
Not the counselor, the Krogan
Oh, the Krogan female.
female.
Yeah, it was just.
If she dies, okay, which that's tied back to Mass Effect 2. If you saved that Morden's buddy's data that cured the genophage, or could be used to cure the genophage, if you saved it, she lives. If you destroyed it, she dies. If she dies, you can convince Morden this is a bad idea. We shouldn't do it. But if you saved it, which most people did, then she's alive, and you cannot convince Morden any other idea. So you have to shoot Morden in the back.
I think I fully support this, just so I could watch the animation.
I think you can sabotage the elevator too.
Well,
I think.
I don't know about the elevator because whenever I shot him, he fell into the elevator, and then the elevator was going up to the control panel, and then he's slowly dragging himself to the control panel to cure the genophage before the facility blows up, and he gets there right, and it blows up, and he doesn't get a chance to hit the button. And then you lie to the Krogans and say that you cured the genophage when you really didn't. But if Rex is dead, his brother Reeve is in charge, and he never finds out because he's stupid. Rex finds out and confronts you on the Citadel,
Oh boy.
and then you have to kill Rex.
It's like, how's it going, buddy?
Hi. So granted, just shooting him in Mass Effect 1 is entertaining, but you're really fucking him over and abusing his friendship in 3 if you do that.
You could be a sociopath. You're like, fuck your feelings.
You definitely can. Mass Effect Andromeda, the rumors I'm hearing is that it actually takes place before and after. Like the beginning of the game, there's a top secret, I wouldn't say top secret, but there's a group set up who have potentially found a gateway into the Andromeda Galaxy. And this is an out if they can't handle the Reapers, right?
Okay.
So they're going to send a group in, but it's uncharted territory, and when eventually they do send them in, but the portal or the mass relay closes, it's destroyed or malfunctions behind them, so now they're stuck. So now you have a full ship of people stuck in the Andromeda Galaxy who have no idea what's happened to humanity, the Reapers, or the ending that you chose in Mass Effect 3. That's all conjecture.
So it's a standalone title. I like where this is going.
For now. Well, they talked about possibly a trilogy.
Yeah, but for right now, it is still a standalone, and you are looking to find colonization for your people. Now you are.
Nope, not worth saving. Just shoot the whole crew now. Get it out of the way.
Well, see, what's cool now is that now we are the aliens invading another place, and it's flipped.
Oh, in that case, survive at all costs. Destroy everybody.
It's definitely an interesting concept, and they have confirmed that a lot of the races that we know are in it, plus new ones from the Andromeda Galaxy. And I'm probably going to wager a guess to say that the races we know are probably going to be on the ship. They probably all have teams of people who have volunteered for this mission.
An away team.
Yeah, pretty much. And then your character is called the Pathfinder.
Uh-oh.
And we don't have a confirmed name yet, but they're thinking Ryder. And apparently, okay, so Shepard was the first man in space. Ryder was the first woman in space. Or Ryder. It's a play on those words where they went back to that.
Okay.
And
that's fine.
You
that's
still play
cool.
as a human, though. Some people definitely wanted this opportunity to be able to choose your race, choose your class and race, to be able to play to play more as like you can like Dragon Age, where you can choose like a dwarf or like an elf or even a Kunari. And maybe that'll come someday in the future. I would like that. That'd be pretty neat to be able to have a more Avatar type.
Yeah,
character.
if they did one like the original Dragon Age, depending on what race that you chose, they all had their own different backgrounds. So that'd be cool. That'd really give replay value to Mass Effect.
Mm-hmm.
Having a different background to start out with, not affecting all your choices. You'd have to replay that first game into all of them with a different background every time.
It would be. Where like say you're a Solarian, and so you have an entirely different origin, or like a Krogan, it gives you an entirely different background and starting
agenda
point.
options and everything. Oh,
Hell yeah.
cool.
And that's slated for release. That got delayed from this year into March of next. because it's still on their financial calendar, because how they do April to into March.
Like the fiscal year type deal.
Yeah, and I think the reason for that is because EA is focusing on Battlefield 1 and Titanfall 2 for the fall, so they pretty much had to pick one to sit back, and maybe Mass Effect is the one that kind of needed a little bit more time anyway.
I wouldn't rush that one. It sounds
No.
like it's going to be like a good title.
And honestly, I think that was the biggest problem with Mass Effect 3 is that they did rush it out, and they were really crunched for time.
What are your thoughts, Daniel, about Mass Effect in general?
I love Mass Effect.
Okay, what do you think about the new title coming out then? You brought it up.
Oh yeah, I'm waiting to see it. I know it says that they're going to show it at E3, but it's probably just gameplay and different
Well,
things.
see, and here's the thing is that with the game coming out in March, I would use E3 as like my launching point to really let people know, as much stuff as we're comfortable letting them know, right? Like, of course, we can't let them know everything about the story, but at least introduce them to some of the characters.
Yeah,
And
the
get
ones you
them-
meet.
Yeah, right. Or like the ones that are going to definitely be in your party, like your main character, or maybe a couple like, okay, check out this Turian guy, check out this Krogan. It's stuff we already know, and then maybe drop a new character from a new race that you meet, just to like whet your appetite a little bit, and show some more with the Mako, because the Mako's coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, so am I.
I've seen a little bit of gameplay that's leaked, how they have jetpacks now, and
Is every game going to jetpacks?
sure, the Rocketeer, bro.
Yes, Brendan Fraser, the Rocketeer.
Was that Brendan Fraser?
It was.
Are you sure?
Early 90s.
Are you-
Look it up.
I am, because that doesn't. What?
You owe me if I'm right.
Shit, probably. Gosh, I'm doing this right on the fly. Rocket tier. Are you sure? You're positive?
That is my final answer.
What do you owe me if you're wrong?
Are you staying for the bands tonight?
I might. I don't know. It honestly depends on the baby.
Okay. Well, if you're here, I'll buy you a beverage, like a pop or something.
You are wrong.
Who was it?
Billy Campbell.
Bruce Campbell.
And he was listed as Bill Campbell.
What?
Yeah.
I could have sworn it was Brendan Fraser.
No. No, in fact, I'll actually show you. Jennifer Connelly played Jenny. Wow, they didn't even have to change her name.
She's a terrible actress, so let's just...
That's the... drop the phone. That is the poster.
Looks like Brendan Fraser to me.
Oh, man. Anyway, guys,
I think I just lost my Star Wars item. I think I could just donate that back to the podcast on that one.
No, dude. That is definitely yours. I want to thank everybody who's come out today to help out. Thank everybody who showed up for the 100th. That was awesome. You guys both showed up. That was cool. And thank you guys for sitting here doing this with me, but pretty much just BSing and talking about just a few things. This is not...
It's the most casual episode you'll probably ever have.
It probably is. It really is. Definitely, I mean, but we did talk about some of the things that we normally talk about anyway. Like, what have we been playing? What are we looking forward to?
Had the tangent that you said is part of your quota.
It is. This is only the third episode of Game Addicts, and I don't know if we've had too many tangents.
That I feel honored to take part in
Yeah.
the maybe first or second in this
I want to say
series.
it's probably the first, because I think normally like we keep the episode pretty sort of tight knit because we only have like about an hour and a half to record anyway after work.
Right.
And so when I go over to Mike's or he comes to my house, we pretty much have it dialed down what we're going to talk about.
They already have it planned out. Look at us, Daniel. We just walk in. We're like, we're going to fuck this up.
Hell yeah, man. We'll see. Wes is here, but Wes is a little busy.
He's phone. He is phone. That answers the question. Who is phone? Wes is phone.
Wes's phone. Wes phone home.
Elliot, touch.
Tony, thank you for coming on the first podcast that you've ever been on for us.
Thank you.
We're gonna have to have you on again. And what's cool is that, like, with Journey to Comics, you don't have to worry about not being associated, and knowing a lot about comics. We have a guy on every once in a while who has never read a comic in his life and just watched the movies and just read Wikipedia. But that's a very average take to look at.
It gives you, especially today, yeah. I mean, it's consumer friendly, and then it gives you also a different perspective because you don't know, like Doctor Strange. You wouldn't know that he's been nerfed down and lost a lot of his powers in the comics over the years. Because let's face it, the guy could practically take on the whole Marvel universe at one point in time. But now that they've dialed it back a lot, and he's got his movie coming out, he's going to have like a more human side to him. Not that he didn't have one already, but he's going to be like limited in his scope of powers.
Right.
So.
And Daniel, thank you for coming on. You almost served the role of Silent Rob today.
Yes.
Silent Rob has been he is of course a legendary figure in the Journey into Comics universe. He is always on the podcast. You never really know where that guy's at. He's just sort of hanging out. And I thought he was going to be coming today, but he might have already been here the whole time and we just didn't know.
Yeah, he just showed up. He just looks in, nods like Rob would probably do, walks away. It's like, yeah, that's Rob.
Yep. Always very stoic. Looking forward to seeing Rob here soon. In the meantime, thank you guys all for checking out the Game Addicts podcast, and I want to thank everybody here again for helping out. Be sure to subscribe to the channel to make sure you stay up to date on everything Journey into Comics. Of course, our main show is here along with Game Addicts, Foodies, Watching Movies, and Journey into Wrestling. You look like you have something to say, Tony.
No, I don't have anything. I was waiting on you to just like plug your stuff.
Okay,
give, like,
finish
the
my
Instagram
plugging.
and everything like that.
Oh yeah. The Instagrams, the Facebooks, the Twitters, all that stuff. You can find that on, I believe, on journeyintocomics.podbean.com, where you can also find the main show. Be sure to subscribe, like, and comment down below, and I hope you enjoyed the show. Later. I cannot reach.
This one?
Yep.